Hey, how you doing? I hope you're. Wait a second. I gotta look properly for that. No, no, that's much more better. So, hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing good, because Russian education doesn't. Today, we're gonna talk about the state of Russian education, the state of Russian educational system, and some problems that it's facing right now, and its current state, of course. To begin with, let's look at top 100 universities in the world. And let me ask you, how many Russian universities do you see in that list? So, to begin with, Russia is the biggest country in the world. It takes 1/5 of the entire land on our planet Earth. It has the biggest amounts of forests in the world. It has one of the biggest amounts of gas and oil in the world. And considering not the biggest population, that is approximately 1500 million people, it's supposed to have a pretty decent economy and therefore pretty decent education. But what can we see? Russia is on the 11th place by GDP in the world. That's considering official statistics. And on 125th place by investing in education. Russia invests only 3.7% of the entire GDP into education. And let's look at the results of this policy. Russian educational system is a descendant of a Soviet educational system. But Russia isn't communist anymore, it is capitalist, and it became more exposed to the progressive corruption which causes problems in all the states of human life. But how does it happen? How does the corruption affect the Russian educational system? Let's look at that. So we have these 3.7 GDP that goes into investment of education. And for example, the government gives that money to the Minister of Education. And he has to spread this money, for example, to buy new equipment in all the universities and schools around Russia, to pay salaries, to renovate all Soviet buildings that are the majority of Russian universities right now. And what's the problem with that? Considering the amount of corruption that we have in Russia, he does not give the entire money to all the regions, you know? Some of this stays in his pocket. And then that change that was left from the GDP, he gives to the regional ministers of education. And they also spread the money around the cities, and also some of this percent stays in their pocket. And then it goes further and further. Because of that, teachers are underpaid, they are not motivated to work, and that's why young teachers that just end pedagogical universities, they don't go to the schools because they don't want to get underpaid. And there are no eager young teachers that would like to replace the old teachers. That's why the vast majority of teachers and professors in Russia are that old. They became teachers back in USSR and they stayed on their positions since the USSR times. That's why they are not giving away their places in the universities or school, and that's why there are no young teachers. But the problem with these Soviet teachers is that they still teach by the books that were printed in USSR. They still teach by the methods that were in USSR. But like as I already said, USSR is not here anymore, and these teachers have not passed the test by time. Therefore, the students who graduate the universities right now are useless. Employers don't want undereducated students in their places because they know about the state of Russian education, because they know how effective this education, and they don't want this semi-specialists on their job. Another problem is that a lot of professors are getting bribed because first of all they are underpaid, and second of all because the law allows it, because the law is corrupt. And that's another problem, that you just can basically buy a diploma which actually will be valid, but the amount of knowledge that you have will not be counted. Like, the problem is, what can we do about this? First of all, we have to invest much more money into the education, more than 3.7% of GDP. Second of all, we have to make the highest salaries for the teachers, so they could be motivated to work, so they could be respected by the students and by the government itself. And also we have to make students value the importance of education. Also we have to open borders to provide the flow of international students from all over the world. And also we have to send our students to other countries to see how the educational system works there, why, for example, Russian would be better, and yada yada yada. And the main point is that we have to teach students according to European and American standards, because as you can see, the top of the list is only British, American universities, a lot of Chinese actually universities, and we have to do something about that. Most importantly, what we have to do is to get rid of corruption. Fuck, I really hope I'm not gonna get jailed for this one. Bitch. What the fuck?